Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, all of my beautiful friends from the internet. What is going on, everybody? I'm super happy to be back with y'all again today on this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday, or whenever you happen to be listening to this episode, whenever that be, morning, evening, or night. Welcome to the Reddit Asks Us podcast. I am your host, Luke Dick. This is the podcast where we read and react to comments from r/Askreddit. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your podcasts, please remember to leave us a rating and also leave us a review. Remember, if you want to comment your response on this week's episode or your answer to this week's Reddit question, if you're listening on Spotify, you can click the description of the episode and you'll see a white icon that says reply, and you can submit your reply, and then you'll be notified when your response is published. So thank you all so much for submitting responses every single week. It is just so amazing to hear from everybody. So this week, or last week's episode was, what was the most creative insult you've ever heard? So first one we got here, I don't actually, oh man, I should have looked this up beforehand, but it's the emoji that's like just the dotted sort of circle and a very, unimpressed face. I can't remember what that one is. Says, "You look like you wouldn't fit in a kimono." I don't know if you're Japanese. That feels very specific. A kimono. Why a kimono? Buddy over there would definitely not fit in a fucking kimono, bro. No kimonos for you, bro. Not a chance, bro. If you ever thought about buying a kimono, shit, bro. You might as well give up on your dreams, bro. That's like, no kimonos for you, bro. No kimonos. I'm telling you, bro. Maybe a bathrobe. You could maybe fit a bathrobe if you're lucky, bro. But no kimonos, bro. You seriously think you could want a kimono, bro? You seriously think you could fit into a kimono? It's like, that feels like a very specific insult. I'm not trying to add insult to injury, though. I'm just trying to riff off the situation. Stressed Human, thanks a lot again. Stressed Human, great to see you. You look like and act like a homeschooler who can't socialize. You know what's so funny about this, Stressed Human, is when you submitted this response, I thought you were insulting me. And I was so pressed for a second. I was like, how do you even know what I look like? I haven't posted videos in a long ass time. Like, what the hell? I'm like, oops, sorry folks, I dropped my phone. I was like, what the hell, dude? Like, why would you say this? You comment on all my stuff, and then I'm like, oh, just kidding. The episode name is literally "What's the most creative insult you've ever heard?" So I played myself on that one. Yeah, homeschoolers. Yeah, that's probably that's fairly devastating. If you get called a homeschooler, bro, oh. Stressed Human, don't worry. You're not a homeschooler, okay, bro? You listen to the Reddit Asks Us podcast. You're chill as fuck. You're cool as fuck. That's just the way it is, okay? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, you're dope, and that's just the end of the story. But, yeah, that person's just trying to hurt your feelings, bro. That person is just straight up trying to hurt your feelings. It's like, homeschoolers, that's a tough insult, bro. No one wants to be called a homeschooler, bro. No one wants to homeschool. Everyone knows the homeschoolers. It's like being called an only child. It's like you're just like they want to make you feel like you're a freak or something. You're not a freak. Stressed Human, trust. Phil Savannah, welcome back, Phil. Hello. 124, you said y'all, welcome to the South. Phil, I was talking to my parents about this the other day. I am adopting. I mean, it's not like, because I'm from Canada, we don't really say y'all, really. But, I actually mostly really started saying it because of just, you hear it in music, especially hip-hop music. Fuck y'all, just kidding. But that's why this podcast is age restricted. It's not meant for kids because I swear a lot. But anyways, this is about the y'all thing. I was talking to my parents about this. Y'all is great because it just means you all. It's very inclusive, all right? It's gender neutral. I used to work as a host at a restaurant, and I got reamed out one time by this group of ladies sitting at a table because I was like, anything I can get for you guys? And she's like, guys, we are ladies, we are women. Please do not call us guys. She said it in a funny, joking way, but it was like, sit down, little boy. Don't call us that. And I was like, and that was kind of one of the first moments I thought, oh, damn. Because I always thought as guys as sort of a gender neutral sort of thing, right? But I do realize that guys is generally referring to dudes. Historically speaking, it probably, originated from the fact that men used to really be the only people sitting at the table, right? And, that kind of is just like, I don't want to perpetuate that, but you all is great because y'all is just, y'all is y'all, you know what I mean? Like it's just everybody. It's you all. It's not, it's very inclusive, it's just that kind of term. So it's a great expression, Phil, and that's why I'm taking it. He's got a face for radio. You're the water that comes out of the ketchup bottle. Hurts because no one has ever wanted it. Yeah, that's tough, bro. That's very tough. Yeah, the ketchup bottle one. That's one that gets me. That's That's, man, like, god damn, bro. Somebody's out to get you, bro. Somebody's a hater, bro. These people are haters, man. So Vortex commented on YouTube. Thanks a lot, Vortex. Great to see you again. So there's a girl in my friend group that is so annoying, and only one person actually likes her. Also, she is very overweight, but she fat shames her brother. But when she was saying that we should all dress up for Halloween, she said that we should do a Disney theme. She said she could dress up as Tinkerbell. The next thing I know, I blurted out, more like Taco Bell. Oh, no. Oh, no. It went silent, and then everyone laughed at her. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Vortex. I know, and Vortex says about, like, I had my camera on in older episodes. I know. The thing is, man, and I mentioned that I used to film the episodes. I honestly, a lot more work goes into it when it terms in, like, when filming. I'm in university. Like, I was in summer classes this whole time. Like, I'm I'm working on a lot of other, like, projects that I got going on too, and my life is just, it's too busy, man. I wish I could film it again, and that's the goal, right? The goal is to get back filming the episodes again, but it's just gonna be some time before I do that, because it's just, the light, like, I don't have enough time to be putting videos together, editing them. It's just, it's tough. But you know what? It's the goal to get back there, right? That's kind of the goal. But yeah, that's a. It's sometimes that type of shit comes out of your mouth, and, like, that's the thing. I guess, like, I'm not really one for fat shaming in general. You don't really want to stoop to anyone's level, but at the same time, she's a hypocrite. She can't be calling her brother fat and making him feel bad about his weight, and then she's not living up to that standards and expectations she sets for other people. So there you go. And I understand it's kind of like that's just a knee-jerk response, and that I guarantee you, if I was there and I was involved in your group of friends, I probably would have laughed out loud as well. Okay, so thank you all so much for responding. Please keep them coming. It's so awesome to hear from everybody. It's just great. I love reading off the responses every week. So we're going to just hop and just take a deep dive in today's episode. So today's episode is from the main Askreddit page, as y'all know. Which profession has the most effed up people in it? So I was talking to a friend of mine last night, and he said, because he's trying to become a paramedic, and he was saying that there's a lot of people who become paramedics who are just different. Like, they're great people. Don't get me wrong. They're amazing people, great people. They do great work. But he's just like, sometimes you just have to have a brain that's just wired differently. Like, he was telling me about all the, dead bodies he's seen and crazy shit that people he has seen. I'm like, bro, I don't think I've ever seen a dead body outside of my great grandmother. You know what I mean? In the casket, or a body in a casket. Because I've seen other bodies in caskets, but that's what I'm saying. I was like, I don't think I've ever just, like, seen a dead person just, like, lying on the street. You know what I mean? And, like, that seems traumatizing. He's just saying, he just is saying, like, man, sometimes people who just get into the paramedic profession, they're just built a little different, man. They're built a little different. All right, so first one comes from the Deadly Squid. People I have met who are quote-unquote life coaches seem to be the most wackadoodle people ever. WizKidOW replies and says, I've had 2 close friends in my life become life coaches. Calling them a wackadoodle is close to the truth. They are, but in my opinion, there's more to it. They want to help people, but have no discerning skills outside of reading too much fad, fitness, self-help literature and being charismatic. Also, they are both fairly wealthy, but didn't make the money themselves. I think their heart is in the right place, but the wealth, crunchy granola bars, and pseudo-intellectualism, many from self-help books, melted their brains. This is facts, man. It's like this is the thing with people who are like motivational speakers. It's like they didn't actually do anything. You know, people have told me throughout my life, like, well, you should be a motivational speaker. I'm like, yeah, well, what have I really done though? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like in order to motivate people, you have to, you know, give them a reason to be motivated. And I'm like, how about I just like do shit first and then help people? It's like, this is what I've accomplished from the sake of being accomplished, you know, for the sake of just like knowing that this is the right route to take. And it's just like, well, what have you accomplished? Becoming a motivational speaker? Like, that just doesn't seem like, you know, tangible enough for people to relate to that, you know? But yeah, and it's just, it doesn't, yeah, like, I think there's a couple dudes that I know who are like motivational speakers, life coaches, whatever. Excuse me. It comes off very like just not genuine. It comes off very forced. And it's just like, believe in yourself. The only thing that you should not believe in is the people who doubt you. And it's just like, bro, like I'm gonna go lift 800 pounds now. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, who are you to be telling me that? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, you need, like, it's just, yeah, you haven't accomplished anything other than being a motivational speaker. So your track record is not full of a bunch of diverse experiences, you know. It's just like you telling people to just, you know, just do it. It's like, okay, that doesn't really feel super helpful. Landscape West 2037 replies and says, as an old professor of mine once said, life coaches are people who want to be psychologists without going through the work of actually becoming a psychologist. Yeah, man. And like, honestly, a lot of people are like, a lot of life coaches are very good at like, you know, understanding like how people function and work. They're really like, I don't think I've ever met somebody who's like one of those type of people and they're not really socially talented, like socially skilled. You know, they're really good at talking to people, really good at like figuring people out, you know, figuring out what, you know, what means a lot to them, you know, how they can get closer to them, how they can kind of make them do what they want, you know, how they can kind of, you know, just maneuver them and you know, kind of use them like puppets type thing, you know, just, yeah, like, just, yeah, classic, just great people though, really great people. Not even, I wouldn't even say manipulative. That's not even, we should move on. Yeah, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Just kidding. Making jokes, friends. Next one comes from Super Checker. Politicians. Yeah, bro. Like, how politicians are another interesting one too, because a lot of politicians, like, they don't, like, other than having like a degree in political science, like for example, like, there's a lot of politicians who don't understand anything about finance, and I feel like it's like, bruh, like, how can you be a president, a prime minister, and not understand like how money works? You know, what like, understanding the lingo, the jargon, like what economic moves are going to be, you know, positive or negative, and like how banking systems work, how loans work. Like, I feel like it's like, bro, like, you got your political science degree and specialized in the interrelational politics of the Muppets. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, how Sesame Street influenced influenced a generation was your thesis, bro. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking political science degrees. I'm just saying that's what it seems. The politicians who have poli-sci degrees, it feels like that's what they studied. You know, I know people who are doing poli-sci and they're super smart, super intelligent, very well-versed people. But these are not the people who I see in positions of power, bro. Like, the people who I see in positions of power feel just very uneducated, not in tune or in touch with the real life living people. And like they all come from like, rich and wealthy families. It's like, bro, what do you know about living, bro? What do you know about what it's like to live as a everyday citizen in this country or in this municipality or this province or state or area? Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't like, what do you really know about the area? It's just the positions of power they've come into of being because of other people who have influence and power and positions, not because they actually, can like relate to anyone on an actual like societal level. But yeah, like, and then you just hear about all the stupid stuff politicians have done, like fucking Rob Ford, the mayor of Toronto, was smoking crack, bro. There's videos of this dude smoking crack, and he denied it multiple times. He denied it multiple times, and he was smoking crack, bro. The mayor of the city was smoking crack. How? Like what? Like how these are our this is what I mean, bro. These are our politicians. Does that really seem like a very well-rounded person? Yeah, we're working on the city's sewage system right now. But yeah, it's a really busy job, but nothing really gets me through it than just a nice old great bowl of crack. Just relaxing, kick my feet up, after I have a glass of wine with the wife, just kick the feet up, relax a little bit. Politicians need some time off too, okay? It's a 24/7 job, okay? We need some time off as well. And just nothing just hits other than just a little bowl of crack. Just a little tiny, itty bitty bowl of crack. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Right? There's nothing wrong with a little bowl of crack, just as your leader and politician, everyone needs some time off, okay? Don't be harping on me like I did something bad. All right, next one comes from Nathan Pazzi. The car business is full of degenerates. Professional Cheek 16 replies and says, I was in college and interviewed to sell cars. The interviewer said, you might feel bad the first time you get some old people on a fixed income and sell them a car they can't afford. But once you get that commission check, you'll forget all about it. I got up and walked out. Yeah, don't you just love robbing old people of like all the money they've ever made in their entire lives and then some? This is why I hate sales, man. Like I like sales, like car sales, like retail sales, like I guess there's different types of sales, right? Like there's not all sales are created equal. Sometimes it's like you're selling a service that is like a needed service, right? Or an essential sort of service. So it's not like you have to, flip a sign and say buy here. But retail sales and a lot of selling of possessions, items, cars, things, it just like it feels so pressure. Like I don't want to force you to buy anything. Who am I to tell you that you should buy this, dude? Like I don't like convincing people that they should buy something. If you want it, get it. Okay, I don't want to be here trying to be like, no, like you should spend more money. You should spend more money. I feel so disingenuous because the only reason why a salesman is like incentivized to sell anything is because they make money themselves off that sale. So it doesn't really feel like a salesman is trying to actually help you. It feels like, no, I just want to I want to say, it feels very self sort of centered. You know what I mean? This is why I was just, I don't know, I was never that great at like retail sales and like I actually preferred working in a restaurant, because I'm not trying to like convince people to buy expensive things as at a restaurant. I'm just there to serve them. They're going to get what they want, unless they ask for a recommendation. But, sales feels so forced, it feels like I don't like, it feels like peer pressure, man. Like I'm not trying to put that on people, bro. Like spend your money. You know how much money you have. Spend it wisely. You know what I mean? We all have a limited amount of money in this world, right? If you're a millionaire, whatever. If you're coming in to buy a car, what car you want to buy. That's different. But I don't want to sit there and convince you and get the bells, get the whistle. No, it's not my thing. It feels very disingenuous. Blackthorn 917 replies and says, this is exactly how I felt during my time working for AT&T in sales. I maintained my principles while there, but I took constant flack from management for not upselling enough. Listen, someone comes in for a phone, I sell them that phone. Maybe a case in earbuds. Past that, unless they actually seem to need something, I'm not slinging random bullshit to pad your store's sale metrics. I left after a year or so. The slimy nature of those places disgusts me now. That's exactly right. It's like they also, like managers and stuff, like they want to make, they're not like encouraging you to sell more because it benefits you or the customer in any way. It just benefits like the store, the company, the corporation. It's like, bro, like, oh, like why are you so loyal, man? Like, like does it really matter? Like, you know what I mean? Does it really in the grand scheme of things, especially when you create a toxic work environment and culture because of stuff like that? You know what I mean? It's just you're not motivating people to want to work for you at all. Like it's not you're not really getting people to feel great about themselves. It doesn't like I don't feel good about myself trying to like convince somebody to buy something. That especially that they don't need. It's Dems next comment says prison guards. Yeah, bro. If you're a prison guard, bro, how did you like why, bro? It's like no one should be a prison guard past like the 40s, bro. Like you know, there used to be a time where, you know, maybe a job like that presented itself and you're like, it's good money, it's good pay, you know, it's a consistent job. It's not the greatest job, it's not the most glamorous job, but hey, it's 1940 right now, you know? Times are tough. But it's like, unless you're like, that doesn't really seem like a profession nowadays that seems like you know, oh yeah, just you know, just go and just be a prison guard. It's like, that seems a little different. That seems like, are you a sadist by chance? Or, you know, is there any, you know, is there any narcissism going on there? A little bit of sadistic, you know, power trips, stuff like that? Do you enjoy watching other people, you know, get hurt? Do you enjoy exerting power over others? You know, I think it's funny because it's like the same people, the same things that might get a person in prison might be the exact same reason somebody is attracted to being a prison guard. You know what I mean? Somebody is with like antisocial personality disorder who's just, you know, crazy and, you know, commits a lot of crimes and shit might be attracted to be a prison guard because, you know, antisocial personality disorder, maybe they don't feel empathy, they just like exerting powers over someone else. And I can't imagine a prison is the greatest environment to work in either. Doesn't sound like you hear too much about, you know, oh my God, I love my job as a prison guard. It is so fulfilling. It is so fulfilling. Just, you know, putting them in their place. Don't you just love it? Don't you just love just cracking the whip? I love it. It's just, it makes me feel so good, you know? Just love to, just breathes life into me, you know? It's just great environment, great people, you know? Just love it so much. Oh, I can't stop thinking about it. You know, doesn't seem great. Leo Foitis, or Foitaz, replies and says, used to play video games with a guy from Texas that was a prison guard, that was a guard at some prison. He divorced his wife, who I had also become friends with, so that he could profess his love for me. I turned him down and he told me if I ever went to Texas and he found out, he'd make sure I wouldn't leave the state. Bro, that's what I'm saying. That's criminal, okay? That is the way somebody with narcissistic personality disorder thinks. That same personality disorder might end you up in jail, but it might end you up on just the exact opposite side. You know what I'm saying? This is why, like, sometimes it's just, this is the same reason why I'm very skeptical of, you know, police and stuff like that. Not that there aren't good police officers out there. Prison guards I'm definitely more skeptical of. That seems like, were you dishonorably discharged, maybe? Maybe feels like that's where all the dishonorable discharges go. But, and my apologies if you're a prison guard and you actually are good at your job and you like doing what you're doing. I'm not trying to discriminate. It's just, this is how I feel in my mind. This is just my preconceived conception, okay? But like doesn't really seem like the very normal, you know, career path for somebody who's, you know, all mentally, you know, at peace. Seems like there's a couple demons there. But what was I about to say? Yeah, and the same thing. Yeah, it's the reason why I'm skeptical of like police officers and all that kind of thing too, because it's like, man, you gotta just wonder, like, how many people are getting into that job who just do have an affinity for power and exerting that and feeling that over other people. Just not my thing. Not gotta say that it's probably not at a profession that I'd be too interested in getting involved with. Next one comes from valuable appendage. People in the restaurant industry seem to develop substance abuses very quickly. I don't think the industry attracts those people, but rather the stress of the job combined with the availability of alcohol and other drugs create the perfect storm. Man, and that's the thing, bro, is there's such a and I witnessed this for myself because I worked in restaurants, and there is such a divide between management and ownership and the actual people who do the work, because it's a lot of managers and owners, they can't cook, bro. They can't cook. All right. And a lot of them just really, they don't respect the people who do the real work at the places. And then I think that encourages people who already deal with that sort of thing to fall into that, is because they don't get any respect, man. They really don't. And when they're in a cycle of not getting respect, they, disvalue themselves. They feel like they bring their own value down because of that, and then it just creates a nasty cycle when these people are very talented, man. Like the cooks that I used to work with, I mean, a lot of them, some, not all, but some of them had issues and stuff and things they were dealing with, but it's damn, bro, you are talented, man. You have such a passion for cooking, and you know how to cook, man. You could go home and make yourself a 5-star meal right now, dude. I cannot do that, bro. I can absolutely not do that. And these people aren't taught to be proud of their skills, you know what I mean? Cooking is just oh yeah, he's just a cook. He's just a cook. He's just a cook. It's man, these people are so unbelievably talented, man. They can provide for that. That's a whole skill set that is so essential, man. To be able to feed yourself and provide for yourself. It doesn't get enough credit, bro. Straight up. Reply from GSV Cargo Cult. To a degree, the industry does attract those types of people. In my experience, restaurants are meritocracies more than other workplaces, and if someone can get the plates out on time, they'll be hired, whether or not they went to chef school. The good side of that is that people who don't have the privilege or money or connections can work their way up in that classic American dream kind of way. The bad side is that it attracts a lot of drunks and wild people. Poem for your sprog replies and says, if someone can get the plates out on time, they'll be hired. The bad side is that it attracts a lot of drunk and wild people. They were quoting from the last response. If you enjoy a whole day shift, if you can get your plates out swift, if you can attempt to cope with the stress with a drink and drugs and nothing less, if you can gladly ply your craft while underpaid and understaffed, if you can man a kitchen twice, as hot as hell and half as nice, if you can do the work of 4 from dusk till dawn or maybe more while sacrificing all for speed, then baby, you're the one that we need. That was nice. That was cool. That was a cool poem. Next one comes from Grammar Life. Love that everyone is just naming every job ever. Yeah. I mean, I definitely think there are some jobs that just, specifically attract certain types of people. I gotta say this, all right? Okay. I don't want to diss anyone. I know a lot of people are proud of this, and this is just my personal view, to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of the military. You know what I mean? Especially in Canada, there's been a lot of controversy and toxic work culture in the military, sexual abuse allegations, all sorts of stuff like this. Not a very, positive work environment. That's what you hear from a lot of people who have been, who've worked in and out of the military, and people who are veterans and stuff. But there are some people who the military attracts because they are literal psychopaths. They are so manipulative and narcissistic, but they know that, and they can manipulate themselves into being Mr. Nice Guy, being someone who people who can feel is a nice person, but then when it comes to the real shit, They're there for themselves. And I've known some people in the past, and I'm like, bruh, like, I would be terrified if you had a gun, bro. I would be terrified, dude. Like you are the last person who I feel like should ever own a gun, and this motherfucker's in the military, bro. Like, I think the military, not everybody, but I definitely think it's one of those positions or professions that can attract a lot of weirdos, man. I've definitely met a lot of people in the military who are like weirdos too. There's this guy on Instagram, I forget his name. He does super funny skits, but he does a skit where he's like trying to play a military recruiter, and like military recruiting in the US is very different than it is in Canada. Like Canada, we don't really actually see a whole lot of like military recruiters, but I know in the US it's like a big thing. You know, they come to your school, they, you know, they're trying to find people. But he's like, oh my god, like he's just playing the skit where he's like in the hallway, and he's like, what's your GPA? What's your GPA? People keep ignoring him. And he's like, can I see your GPA? This one kid's, and he's like, 1.4? Fuck yes, we can get it down. He's like, we can get it down to a 1.1. And he's like, no, it doesn't matter. You're a fucking idiot. And it's just like, he's like, just listen to me. He's like, do you want to be scarred for life? Mentally scarred for life? Do you want your wife to cheat on you? Then we got the right place for you. And this is really funny. All right, next one comes from Purple Grass 5300. As a CPS worker, the investigation supervisors were all having affairs, and one strangled the new hire in our office. Our judge got a DUI. Even HR was sleeping with the office manager. What the fuck? Oh my god, bro. What is this, man? CPS. Why are you struggling? Why are you strangling someone, bro? You're literally the investigator. You are literally the person who's looking for stranglers, and you're like, find the kids. Give these kids a happy home. Why are you strangling people, bro? Like, isn't that what you go to look for, to stop people from taking kids away from people who do that? Like, maybe you shouldn't have your fucking kids, bro. Judge got a DUI, and even HR was sleeping with the office manager. Yeah, it seems like a couple conflicts there. Just a little, it's workplace conflicts. Don't worry about working here. You know, we have a few office spats. You know, workplace conflicts do arise. They absolutely arise, you know. And it's all about how we deal with them, right? It's all about how we work together to create solutions. Like, for example, the manager, you met him, right? Jason. The manager, Jason, for last week, for example, just a little office spat, nothing out of the norm, strangled Chris, and you know, like, it was inappropriate in hindsight, and Jason recognizes that. Okay, in hindsight, that was inappropriate. All right, and here's another office conflict. Jason again sleeping with our HR manager. Again, little conflict there, right? Because, you know, he's not being reported to the authorities, so that's another conflict. And, you know, Chris tried actually to report it to the police, but HR denied everything, and, you know, blackmailed a lot of people in the office to not say anything about it. So Chris looks kind of like he's the victim in this situation, clearly. But, you know, it's, you know, other than that, really, it's a great place to work. Really, it's, you know, it's a fun, loving environment. We love fun. You know, we love more. Jason loves his fun. He's a little aggressive, but he's fun. He's a fun guy, right? He's just a fun guy, right? He's one of those fun guys, right? But you don't you have to let him win, though. If we're gonna do any office parties and games, you gotta let him win, okay? You really don't want to see him lose, especially if you're the one who beat him. Don't even, yeah. But yeah, it's cool. Love it. Statistician Crazy 703 replies and says, "Hi, I'm a rep from Netflix. Can you tell me that story again, maybe over the course of 3 to 5 seasons? I would watch the shit out of that. I would absolutely watch the shit out of that." Lift Heavy-ish, new response says, "Healthcare. Some of the best providers I have ever met have very interesting life stories or fucked up pasts." Reply, PM your puppers. High stress job? Check. Frequent verbal abuse? Check. Occasional physical abuse? Checks. Check. Long shifts frequently with little to no breaks. Check. If you don't come into this field a little messed up, you may leave a little messed up. Let's not even talk about COVID, where people were dying constantly and families accused us of murdering their loved ones. Yeah, that's COVID, man. That's healthcare, bro. My sister is a nurse, and you can see, man. You can see the job is very stressful, and you got to see some crazy shit, man. If she wasn't, she's a very resilient person. She's a great person, but I guarantee you, if I were to ask her, she probably has become, more desensitized since she's started her job to things than she was before. Because at a certain point, man, you just got to keep seeing messed up shit, and it's like you got to help, man. You got to help people, so you just got to move past. She's always been good at that, though. Like, seeing crazy shit and just working through it, but at a certain point, man, that shit's got to get to you, bro. I wouldn't be surprised if she's got a little bit of, and you guys know Elena, she's been on the show before, but I wouldn't be surprised if she's got some scars, there from that profession, because it's just, yeah, I could never do it. I could never do it. Nope. I'm not bad in a crisis situation, but I'm saying not as a job, not as a profession, not for me. I'm not trying to see blood squirting out of somebody's leg, broken, nasty. No. That's not everybody who works as a nurse, but, you always got to be prepared for anything. Lal always liked your mom. Vortex? Comments and says, honestly, shocked no one has mentioned the music industry scene at every level. Drug and alcohol and domestic violence, sociopathy, and narcissistic abuse, bullying, gatekeeping, rape, etc., especially at the local level in everyone's local music scene. Even the hipsters and the musicians date, and all of their friends. Toxic AF. Yeah, the music industry, that's another one that, it's not difficult. It's not a stretch of the imagination to, think that there are some people in the music industry that are pretty messed up. That's where some of the best music comes from, man, is from a very dark place, bro. Not saying that that's something I condone. It's just, if you listen to some of musicians and artists' stories, like, they will say that, it's not easy, bro. Life is not easy, and there's a reason why they've, there's a reason why they are the way they are. They've just had those experiences. But yeah, Matt DeCat replies and says, I worked in a big local scene for years. It really made me jaded towards music. There are plenty of wholesome, talented artists, but it's overshadowed by the number of predators that joined a band to be sexually aggressive and push drugs onto 18-year-olds. And you can't separate art from artist when you're stuck in a green room with a monster. Yeah, 100%. Always liked your mom replied and says, absolutely agree. My local indie music scene, hipsters, is just like this. Girls have committed suicide. Girls have been abused by sociopaths. People OD constantly. The male abusers are enabled, and the female victims are bullied and ostracized. And after already being violently abused, and when you try to stand up to it, they have this gatekeeping hipster mob mentality. They are predatory and toxic. This is Knoxville music scene, by the way. Damn, bro. That sounds awful, dude. We need to launch an investigation, bro. Come on, dog. Like, this is the worst thing too, man, is these dudes will play the hipster role, and it's like, oh man, I'm so chill. Like, why don't you just, like, do this or else? It's like, I'm just a hippie, bro. I'm just a peace and love. So if you believe in peace and love, then you better do this for me right fucking now before I fucking snap your neck. How does that sound? All right? But peace and love, all right? So, let's go. Yeah, like, bro. That's the farthest thing from peace and love, bro. Like, come on. The music scene, I'm not surprised that that's in music. It's so sad, too, because I feel like people, you want to associate music with positivity and feelings of joy, feelings of hardship, triumph, and all the things that make human experiences human. But when you find out, like man, like, this happened with big artists in Canada over the last couple of years. There was this band called Headley, and the lead singer of it. My mom is a big fan, and I knew lots of people. I mean, they were on the radio all the time growing up. They were pretty big here in Canada. And then it came out a couple years ago that the lead singer was, sexually assaulting and abusing women for a long time. And it's just, man, it's so tough because it's just like, how can someone who makes such great music be so evil and vile and disgusting? And yeah, like, I don't know, like, we just can't listen to the music anymore because it's forever associated and tied with I mean, I've seen them in concert, you know what I mean? Like, and it's just now, like, it's just like to think that he was probably doing that shit when he was performing on stage and we watched him and he was singing these songs that are just genuinely beautiful songs. It's just like now you lose you lose faith in that. It's like, damn, bro, why, bro? Like you have so much already, bro. Why are you trying to take away from other people, man? Like, why, dude? Like, figure out your shit, bro. Like, figure it out, dude. You obviously know what you're doing is wrong. Like, come on, bro. It's just, disappointing, bro. So disappointing, man. Like, it's just, yeah, it's just disgusting, just revolting, honestly, bro. Now, let's read off one more. This one comes from M Jerry A. I was a busboy at 16 years old. The very first staff meeting I attended, management started off by telling us, no more doing coke in the parking lot. Our guests are not blind. I was literally a church-going altar boy and was scared to work there, but everyone was a high-energy character and kind of looked out for me. Yeah, high-energy character. That doesn't seem like it fits. Doesn't fit the description there. There was a bunch of slamming, yelling, cursing, and fighting, but nobody was malicious. After college, I worked in finance, a boiler room sales office, and those guys were a bunch of entitled, greedy, racist, elitist, narcissistic, violent douchebags. The first week, I was killing it and thought I could put up with the toxic environment because the money was great. I quit by the end of the week. Good for you, man. Good for you. That takes a lot to quit a job like that, bro, especially something that's like good income, all that type of thing. All right, folks. Thank you all so much for tuning into this week's episode. Remember, no doing coke in the parking lot. No parking lot coke sessions, all right? Keep those to a minimum. Guests aren't blind. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the Reddit Ask Us podcast. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else get your podcast, please leave us a rating, and also please leave us a review. Remember, you can answer this week's Reddit question by going to Spotify, clicking the description of the episode. Below the description is a white icon that says reply. You can reply, and you'll be notified when your response is published. Thank you all so much for tuning into this week's episode, and I will see y'all again next week. Peace out. Love you. Bye.